Thank you very much. You know you've made it in comedy when you finally get a cordless mic, right? Yeah, getting there. It's good to be here in Dorman, Surrey. Well, my wife is vegetarian and I have two kids under the age of 6, so frankly, it's good to be anywhere but home. Some of these are jokes, okay? Some of these are jokes. I love my kids. Anyway, I've prepared my set in English. Is that okay?
Yes.
I come from London, where English is not a given. So we are good. We are good. I was walking through these nice footpaths of your idyllic village, coming to the gig on foot, reminiscing about Postman Pat and my childhood. And I saw at least 2 signs which said, "Caution, cats may be crossing." Is that the kind of problems that you have to endure in this corner of England on a day-to-day basis? Because I don't know if you've heard, but in London, we have a major problem, which is not cats crossing. Our problem is called women. Women, yeah. I believe it was Albert Einstein who famously said, the definition of insanity is when women repeatedly vote for open borders and then complain that they are being assaulted on the streets of London. What, you don't agree? Are you smarter than Albert Einstein? He totally said that, and you are not smarter than Albert Einstein. My comedy coach said, always open with your least controversial joke. And I said, fine. Yeah, no, I like it here because it reminds me of Chelsea Flower Show. I always go to Chelsea Flower Show in London. I'm not into gardening. I just feel safe when I'm in a place where I'm the black guy. I feel safer. I don't know if any of you have kids. If you've had to get a babysitter for tonight, I'm very grateful. People say, the day my child was born was the most beautiful, the most exciting day of my life. Have you heard this? Yeah. People who say this have never been released from an Iranian prison. Right? English people say the funniest things. English language is full of empty slogans like honesty is the best policy. Have you heard this? Honesty is the best. People who say honesty is the best policy have never been released from an Iranian prison. Honesty might get you inside an Iranian prison, it won't get you out. No, sir. Anyways, did you have a good Easter? Yeah. I listened to the King's Easter message. He praised Islam and Judaism in his Easter message. Did you hear that? No? Yeah, you can look it up. That was a bit odd. I don't know about you, but you know, the English or the British monarch bears officially the title of Defender of the Faith. Did you know that? It's on the back of coins. Do you still have coins in this area? I mean, if you have cats crossing, you might still have cash, right? FD on the back of every coin next to the portrait of the king or the late queen. You have FD, Fide Defensor, Defender of the Faith. That's in the job title. That's the only thing they've put on the coin. It doesn't say His Majesty the King, inaugurator of parliamentary seasons, bestower of nobility and knighthoods, opener of Olympic Games, orator of Christmas messages. It says defender of the faith. And yet, the king and his late mother have defended the Christian faith pretty much in the same manner that Harry Maguire has defended Manchester United's goal line. What's up with that? If you're watching this in America, King Charles and his late mother have defended the Christian faith pretty much in the same manner that Kamala Harris defended your southern borders. Too soon? The Pope, speaking of Christianity, the Pope has passed away. Yeah, any Catholics? No? The Pope passed away. Donald Trump issued a statement. He said, Pope Francis was a fantastic spiritual leader. He will be missed by hundreds of millions of faithful across the world. Kamala Harris issued a statement. She said, Pope Francis is very sharp, totally focused, intellectually, cognitively on top of his game, and he gets better with every significant passage of time. That's a one-man joke. The promoter likes it, so I should be in the clear. Some of these jokes are for my American market. Okay, I'm bigger in the States. Do you guys follow U.S. politics? Did you follow the U.S. elections? I'm still following the U.S. elections. They're still counting in Nevada. Did you not know? Man, what a race. It was supposed to be close. But eventually, our man was vindicated, wasn't he? No? After all the allegations, come on. After all the accusations, all the mocking, all the betrayals, eventually our man, Joe Biden, was vindicated. Joe Biden was vindicated. This was the first election when the outgoing president was happier than the incoming one. Right? He will go down in history as the only Democrat who beat Donald Trump. Nobody can take that away from him. I'm just kidding. He never beat Trump. Oh, wow. But Trump ran a perfect campaign. He secured the support of some major endorsers, right? And the biggest one was present at the inauguration, his biggest supporter, God. God was present at the inauguration. You know God? God is present everywhere. Well, he may not be present in London, but he's sure present here. God was behind Trump, after the first attempt on his life. Remember? Yeah, the bullet and all that. God saved Donald Trump. But even God could not save the head of the Secret Service. Yeah. The head of the Secret Service, her name was Kimberly Cheetle. Because there were these female bodyguards who were supposed to shield Donald Trump against bullets. And they were kind of short and kind of fat and kind of clumsy with the gun holster and all that. So the head of the Secret Service had to go to the US Congress and explain why they were unfit. And she said, well, in their applications, these women, they said they were fit. Also in their applications, these women said they were good at emotional stability, debating logically, and opening jars. I'm just kidding. Sometimes women can open jars. But Kamala ran a terrible campaign. Her team, I don't know what her team were really thinking. At some point, they broke world Zoom record. Did you hear that? Do you know what Zoom is? You have it outside London. Just joking. So her campaign team organized a Zoom meeting between Kamala and 100,000 white women. 100,000 white women. They called it Karens for Kamala. Karens for Kamala? What were they thinking? It was their way of trying to amplify Kamala's charm and personability by tapping into the charm and personability of Karens. Hey, our candidate has been wrongly accused of being obnoxious, superficial, and self-entitled. To prove that wrong, here's the endorsement of 100,000 Karens. Last time I did that joke, and then in the YouTube comments, a lady said, hey, my name is Karen, I don't appreciate it. Karens already are being mocked, and we have enough problems as it is, and now you're making fun of Karens. And it made me so sad, because after I read the comment, I realized that this is a woman who's never been in an Iranian prison. She was never in an Iranian prison, Some real problems and some first world problems. But yeah, Hillary Clinton was at the inauguration, the first woman who lost to Trump in 2016. Remember Hillary? Yeah. And after she lost in 2016, she wrote a book entitled What Happened? Have you read that? No? Father's Day is coming up. It can be a good gift idea. I wouldn't recommend it, but who would recommend it? New York Times. New York Times said this is a feminist manifesto. And in this book, Hillary explains that she lost to Donald Trump because white women gave in to the persuasion of their male family members and went on and voted for Trump. So that's in the book. That's what Hillary says in the book. White women gave in to the persuasion of their male family members. I mean, don't you just hate it when a feminist candidate cannot smash the glass ceiling because of all these millions of stupid, impressionable women standing in her way? That's kind of sad, isn't it? These two guys are enjoying it. These two girls are like, I could have been at home watching Meghan Markle's podcast. She has a podcast. Probably less views than myself, but I don't want to boast. But yeah, strong, independent women hate Donald Trump because Donald Trump's policies will allegedly are aimed at forcing women to pay for birth control, And if there's anything a strong, independent woman really hates, it's to pay for her own stuff. Right? Yeah, just one more American joke and we are done. You've been handling it much better than people did at London's Goldsmith University campus. Yeah, this is not the worst I've had. Yeah, the worst was London University of Goldsmith campus. Second worst was the Iranian prison. And then there was Camden Comedy Festival. It's all right, we'll be fine. So Democrats are in disarray now. Democrats don't know who to run against against the Republicans in 2028. They used to have a front-runner, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Any Americans in, by the way? No? Okay. Gavin Newsom, have you heard about him? He was their front-runner, but then after Los Angeles fires, he's no longer the front-runner. He has dropped in second place, just behind Luigi Mangione. One lady knows Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione was the guy who murdered the CEO of a health insurance company in December. Yeah, yeah. He's very good looking. Confirmation comes from the front row. Yeah. You can see. Can you believe these Democrats? Can you believe these Democrats? The Democratic base adores and reveres this lowlife scumbag loser, and the rest of them like Luigi Mangione? What's up with that? Yeah, America. I love America. Do you guys like America? Yes. The Supreme Court of Ohio recently had a funny verdict. The Supreme Court of Ohio ruled that boneless chicken can contain bones. Yeah, this is a true story, you know. This gentleman went to this boneless chicken franchise joint. That's not the funny part yet. You're putting too much pressure for me to deliver the punchline now. It's fine. So he orders boneless chicken, but the chicken did contain one bone who got lodged in his throat and caused infection, months of complication and suffering. So the case went all the way up to the Supreme Court of the state of Ohio. And the Supreme Court of the state of Ohio said boneless chicken is a term that only refers to the style of cooking. So indeed, it can be called boneless chicken even if it contains bones. In a similar deliberation, the Supreme Court of Ohio ruled that strong, independent women can indeed be called strong, independent women, even if they depend on strong, independent men who pay their state benefits, alimony, and child maintenance. That's a bunch of controversial rulings, Supreme Court of Ohio. I understand my comedy might come off a bit as anti-woman, but they say comedy has to come from a true place. My comedy used to be very much anti-Islamic because I was in prison in the Islamic Republic of Iran, but due to some family situations, I'm kind of warming up towards Islam. What, you all have the custody of your children?